Hi Cancer, this is your forecast for the month of August 2017. If you have visited me before, thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome. This is a general reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or Cancer Moon. It could also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/The Alchemist Astrologer, for love, finance, and other readings. So, Cancer, this week starts off with a major card, the Hanged Man. And you are waiting on something. You're in limbo. There's a lull with regard to something. Now, it could be that you're taking on a new perspective about something. Maybe you're changing your mind. Maybe you're trying to change someone else's mind, or vice versa. But this is a week of enlightenment, about looking at life through a new lens, looking at a situation from a new angle, and that it may require some selflessness or sacrifice on your part. You're going to need to be flexible and adaptable and break from the past in some way. There's a readjustment. And you may take this on voluntarily because there's something, higher at stake. So something could happen unexpected, could be something in your domestic life or a career change, but you are having to surrender to an opposing viewpoint and release your own personal will. Now again, you may be doing this because you are dedicating yourself to some type of goal, or perhaps there's a lull because you're withdrawing in order to meditate, to mull over something. Maybe you're a hospital patient, or maybe you're dealing with someone who is. This card is associated with having to change your perspective, largely in part due to some connection to perhaps a disappointment or a loss or a misunderstanding. Something about a situation is probably not clear. And it may be rooted in emotional disappointment or loss or the deception on someone's part. So this is a week about stepping back from a situation in order to gain some objectivity so that you can move clearer and with a new perspective, so you can make sense of whatever it is that's happening around you and make peace with it. This is probably connected to perhaps groups or friendships or working with others or partnerships or socializing in some way. You may be, pulling back from that. Or you may realize that you need to sacrifice in some way in order to work with others. So this is a week where you're going to have to be patient because, again, there's a holding pattern. So you're going to have to be very focused and persevering to reach your goals. This is a week where you can be very realistic about those goals, though, and it makes it easier for you to achieve them because you're being objective. You're not getting overly emotional. You're maintaining a sense of serenity, and you're not letting the negative get to you or create a setback for you. You may be facing a setback, or you may be dealing with a delay. Things are on in a lull, but you're not letting that trigger your emotions. And you're not letting people play with your mind, play mind games with you either. Somebody may pull out the guilt card or try to manipulate you in a situation or try to make you feel something other than what you should be. So this is a week to really get clear on what your truth is versus what a projection onto you may be. Now, you may be willing to make some sacrifices this week, but you have to really look at those carefully. Is it worth it? Is there really a larger goal at stake? And will your sacrifice serve that goal? Or are you simply a martyr for the cause and giving in and giving up and making these sacrifices that really don't, accomplish anything? They don't help you get ahead. They don't have any value, and they don't really serve any purpose. And if that's the case, it's because you're falling prey to the influence of Neptune, which is connected to this card. And you are confused about your situation because there's some doubt or uncertainty that's making you hesitate. And you're probably following what comes easy for you, maybe some conditioned habit or the path of least resistance, even though you're going to end up holding the bag in this situation. Now, for some of you, because you're at a standstill, it may be difficult for you to keep your frustration in check. You may be dealing with a variety of issues coming up, and you simply choose one and release all of your resentment out on other people or situations, even though they may have nothing to do with what is truly at the root of your issue. This could be a week that is frustrating in that every time you feel like you have attended to one thing, there's another situation for you to deal with and evaluate. So, this is about taking care of business and trying to keep that peaceful state of mind regardless of the situations that you are encountering. You may be very motivated to go in a new direction. You know what you need to do. You know intellectually how you need to handle a situation. You know what's best for you. And yet, on an emotional level, you could end up falling back again on those old patterns of self-limiting behavior, habits, and attitudes. So this is about knowing when to compromise and knowing when it's just a worthless sacrifice. Being objective about your situation and knowing that just because there's a lull, this is just giving you some time to work some situations out and look at it from a different perspective. Try a different angle about something.